Hello and welcome to a Smurd P video, and we are looking at Hello Darkness issue 3 from Boom Studio. So just I guess a little disclaimer, you may see scenes in here that are quite disturbing. So if you are easily offended or find things disturbing, etc., do not continue watching this video. There's lots of writers in this. Michael W. Conrad, Robert Hack, James Tynion IV, Andy Lanning, Paulo Rivera, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, sorry, and Garth Ennis. So we have lots of stories. How's that even pronounced? Bang. I Can't Take You Anywhere. Something is Killing the Children. A Monstrous Hunter Walks into a Bar Part 2. I did note that was missing in issue 2, which I was quite surprised at. I'm not sure what happened there, because I thought that would have gone quite smoothly. Camp Jest. And then we've got The War Part 3. So our story begins with Bang. And I'm probably saying that completely wrong. Anyway, there's lots of videos out there of people eating a ridiculous amount of food. They've been out there for a while, and I never understood them. I've also never understood the part where they do these videos so much that some of them have ended up dying because of it. It's almost like an addiction. Don't get me wrong, I love food. I love eating food. I really do. However, even these things I find, yeah. So anyway, these two children have started taking on the eating contest, but it's a little bit different. So it all started with one copying the other and trying to outdo the other, and one eating hair, and then the next one decides to eat fingers. Now at this point I thought, surely that's a prank. It's a prank, and she is trying to outdo him, and he's going to do something really stupid, and then he's going to say, dude, I didn't actually eat my fingers or something. But no, it gets sicker than that, because then she eats her dog in a stew, then her foot. How on earth she gets away with cutting her foot off, roasting it, eating it, surviving, and doing a video without her parents even blinking? And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to lie, and I may offend some of you. Some parents out there do not keep an eye on what their children are doing, and their children are doing silly things. But this seems a bit extreme. She's got crutches. She's clearly, who sewed up that leg after she's cut it off? Bonkers. So, he wasn't prepared to go down without a fight. I'm going to cover this bit because I want it to be a surprise. And at evening supper with his family, his mom and dad, his little brother, he says he's not really touching his dinner. He says, I'm going to eat later. And he does a live stream. And on tonight's special dish, his little brother Todd for dinner. How sick is that? It's absolutely disgusting. Even I reading this, I'm thinking, what the is going on here? But she's not going to let that go. Yeah, it doesn't stop there. She carries on cutting bits off her whilst he's not really hungry. Weird. Absolutely a fantastic story. One that I'd never imagined. She even cut off her nose, man. Cuts off their nose on purpose. Then we get the weird story by Hack, where this dude's wife was sleeping with this dude, and well, now he's a brain in a jar. This one, he's never met something like her before, and she hisses, and she's like, "Oh, it's sad again. Let's get a new one from the orphanage." Wow. I do like these ones. These are just fun, in my opinion. It's one page. It's absolutely brilliant. Very quick-witted comics, like they would have done back in newspapers, when newspapers were probably actually a little bit better than what they are now. Let's be honest, there's a lot of crap now. Then we've got Something is Killing the Children Part 2. So we get the story about the children. So this gentleman, he likes to go out into his manor house, and he just likes to see things. Kids are noisy, etc. You know, some of the kids, it's winter, etc. And this kid's built some little snowman, and then the next minute he catches an eye of a bird and he hears a scream, and he sees the child being pulled by some invisible force, which is, you know, shocking to him. So the child's screaming, being pulled into the woods, no force is stopping that, so he runs in there to find that she has been slaughtered. And when he told the police, they didn't believe him at all. They just believed, you know, well, he must have been arrested because he's free to do whatever he wants. But here, apparently, Barry is one of the most reliable people, and it doesn't make sense for him to make up stories because he's not that person. And then Erica says, so what do the others think? So, nice, interesting bit. I love this eye, which is wicked. Very wicked. Now, the next story was, once again, a lot of fun. It's based on the World War I, 1917. So, I'm not sure whether these are Englishmen or whatever, but they are trying to kill the Germans. They have gone on, they built trenches and they intend to blow them up, but they haven't got much time. So something breaks, this dude gets stabbed, and then it's all out war between the Germans and maybe it's the British. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. And it all goes a bit weird because then all of a sudden the ground drops and it's absolutely phenomenal. I love this. Look at this awesome creature living under the ground, feeding off whatever, and literally eats them, kills them, whatever. So he's literally destroying them underground, and the charge is about to go off. He literally runs for his life. 1 million pounds of explosive detonated, the largest non-nuclear explosion of all time, apparently. I'm not sure whether this is based on some true facts as well. I really don't know. So, maybe it's different. So this is the British, or the Americans. British. Do I know my British flag? I'm not even sure. Anyway, he starts walking to him, and he starts, kill you all. And he's trying to warn them of what's underneath. And so he dies, and then eventually, it's a year and a half before the war ends. However, beneath the blood-soaked ground, there is something ancient, internal, and it dreams of war in its underneath grave full of blood. So I'm not sure whether this blood is feeding me. It looks like it's feeding him on the pictures, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. I'm going to be really embarrassed about this flag, by the way. And then it ends. But once again, it's one of those stories that I want bloody more. I want more of this. You know, I feel like I could read about this ancient thing, you know, again and again. And then it brings on to what is slowly becoming one of my favorite stories, The War Part 3. And it's felt like, what's the words? Like, it felt like a Cold War in the last sort of issue that we read. So they're stuck on the tube. There's no signal. However, there is a last message saying, I love you guys. Meanwhile, these two, don't get me wrong, I can't remember all their names, but they've packed a small bag, they're leaving the ground, and then all of a sudden things change and they are told to land immediately. So it's all panic stations, they land really quickly. Meanwhile, this dude's come out of his drunken coma to find that Stefan is gone and he's not sure where. So we learn that the reason they were told to land was because they were told that the attack was imminent. It was literally upon them. So they have landed because being in the air, you're apparently just wiped out. Being on the ground, you could perhaps find some cover and perhaps survive, etc. Also, this dude is injured, who saved the day in terms of their landing. However, the ambulance isn't coming. There's nobody answering. It's just going to a sort of like a voicemail, etc., whatever you want to call it. So this gentleman and his girlfriend, who have been a big part of the last few issues, have just said that, you know what, if this is gonna, if somebody screwed up, I'm going to go sleep in my bed. I've got this attack wrong, I'm going to go sleep in my bed. And then they talk about, so there's a couple of messages, etc. There's a talk about there being like a golden hour of when it goes off before it wipes everything out. So these two make it to start walking along the bridge, and you know, they're not going to tell David what they did. That would try to run away from it, because they did try to run, and you know, it didn't really get them very far. And then pretty much we get this, probably a very heartbreaking scene with hands being held before. Boom! I was not expecting this on the final issue. I really, final page, or this page, I wasn't expecting to turn the page for this, just be in your face, literally just nuclear all the way through, wiping them out. Phenomenal 2 pages. And I'll be honest, I was hoping, not that this was going to drag on, but I thought we would get a few more issues of this sort of this Cold War going on before anything happens. But no, it is here. And then all of a sudden, everybody, so the cab's empty, the driver's done a runner, and next minute, they're, you know, these, even though they're probably in the safest place, things start crumbling in, and it's to be continued. And then we've got the so apologies, I ran out of memory, which doesn't happen very often. Anyway, next issue is coming up towards the end of October. I want to give a shout out to all the artists on this book that I haven't mentioned. Do a fabulous job on delivering this. The writer's absolutely phenomenal. I love the idea of the one-shots. They work spot on, and they've got a continuation story on a couple of things. I feel like 2 is enough, and then little individual stories, but then there are also some stories within here that I want more of as well. So that means the writers are all doing their jobs, and I am absolutely captivated. And when I decided to pick this up, I generally picked up because Something is Killing the Children is in here, meant to be in the first 6 issues, or 7 now, depending on how they roll this out. So I originally started doing that. However, I am captivated, and that means I'll be doing this until either it ends or something changes. Anyway, if you like my video, do please support my channel by subscribing. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. We appreciate it. Make sure you look after yourself, and as always, embrace the geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.